intro.
Welcome back to On Hero, and today, lady wants to do a nice little fun video today. So here she is. Take it away.
Okay. So I just recently got the idea that I wanted to do a video about dating advice from our perspectives because we both have different experiences with dating. And I wanted to give some advice because I thought that maybe it can be helpful for people who are looking for somebody to be in a relationship with. My philosophy is I think a lot of people are looking to be in a relationship with somebody, but they may just have a lot of bad experiences where they think, oh, I can't, find anybody, so I'll just give up, And sometimes you can give up and then you'll end up finding somebody. So I wanted to do the video with Your Hero because I thought that it would be fun to give some things you should do and things you shouldn't do when you're dating somebody. And I'm talking about when you are trying to meet somebody in particular, or you're going to places with them. I'm kind of talking about those things. So to start off with, my experience is that when I was looking for a guy, there's some things that I did to try to get to know guys. So I was the type of girl that I did online dating. I think a lot of people kind of frown upon the online dating thing. But
just look at Tinder.
Oh, really?
Yep. Look at Tinder.
That's not dating. That's screwing.
Don't tell them that.
That's screwing.
I'm just telling you. Go ahead.
But at the time when I was like on online dating, I did the Plenty of Fish. I did Jazz, which doesn't exist anymore. I think it was either Plenty of Fish or Jazz. Some people did dating through MySpace. I think it still exists, but nobody really used it what it was for. I think it was the kind of the precursor to Facebook. Like basically with MySpace, you have your own page, you have your picture and stuff, and you have like a description, and then those kind of posts by you. It's kind of like a Facebook in a way, but out of MySpace and stuff. There's some things in my picture that I should have, thought about, like blurring out license plates and stuff like that, but I didn't think to do that because I was a teenager, so I didn't think about that stuff. But one thing I suggest is if you're dating somebody, it's a good idea, and I'm talking from a girl's perspective, it's a good idea if you're on the online dating and stuff like that, to take some time to get to know somebody. To me, that makes more sense. For Your Hero, it's a little bit different. My recommendation is you can, send messages and stuff, but, hear the person's voice on the phone, get to know them before, you get out there and try to meet a person. I think some people do that with Tinder where they but I see Tinder's purpose though is to it's for screwing. That's what people meet up and do, is screw. Now, some girls think that Tinder is for dating, and it's not. It's not. You can do the eHarmony. eHarmony is fine. I'm not sure if that still exists. It probably still does. But eHarmony is pretty good. I think the only thing for guys is they have to pay for it, which sucks. That's what I remember it. I think there was kind of like a free weekend for guys at some point, but I think it can be tough on eHarmony if a guy's trying to find a chick. It's kind of hard to do. So you might as well do a free site I think it's Plenty of Fish. You can do something like that. Hell, there's even dating sites for old people. Like, what is it, Our Time or something I heard about? There's advertisement for it or something on TV or something. Even old people can meet new people. Even they can do that. I recommend online dating specifically because you can meet people and it allows you to do that. I was in high school. I was in college. Tried to meet people, but when you try to meet people at school, it doesn't work out. I don't think it worked out for me. It really didn't go anywhere. So I was just like, okay, I'll try to online and see how it worked. eHarmony didn't do anything. But I think I got a couple of comments, but then from guys, but I couldn't see who they were. So that was the tough part. That's why I didn't like eHarmony. A cousin of mine, he met his wife on eHarmony. I don't know how the hell that works, but they're married, they got kids and stuff, kids growing. So it worked for them somehow. I think online dating is just good because you can meet different people. Like on Plenty of Fish, you can see their profile, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, and that's kind of easier if you move somewhere, you don't know a lot of people. It's good, if you can meet somebody. I mean, yeah, you can try to go to clubs or other places, but you may not find anybody that's interested in you like what they show in the movies. Oh, you can go this place, you meet somebody, and get in a relationship with them. High school doesn't work. College doesn't work. It doesn't work at all, as far as I'm concerned. I'll ask NY Hero his experience. Like, were you able to meet people in high school?
Yes.
How'd it work out?
Well, they wanted to claim my virginity all the time, and I wasn't giving that up because I was in certain situations where none of that stuff felt safe, and I just wasn't just going to willy-nilly just give it up to somebody. So I wasn't putting out, and they wanted to claim me basically. And eventually, I found out that there was bets placed on who could have sex with me first and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was kind of easy because they kept coming to me, especially during dances and stuff like that. But when it came for as dating goes, no. But when it came to like people wanting to do me, that was the easy part. Now it came to the dating part, like getting a girlfriend. I was able to do that one time, twice, and that's really, and a third time. But they wasn't like conclusive. The only conclusive one was where the chick kept cheating because she was sexually active and I wasn't. And I didn't know anything about a sex drive at that point. I was still a virgin. I didn't know anything of any of that stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for high school. That's all that's happened. And then all the girls that I liked, I asked them all out, all at once on the same day. And then it was like I had this clear conscience the rest of my high school years.
Why?
Because it's like, well, okay, this chick says she's gay. She says she's already got a boyfriend. This chick says she don't date outside her race. This chick says that she only dates white dudes. This chick says that, that she's not dating right now. This chick, and then during the dance, they would be lying. And then I was like, oh, I don't want that anyway. This chick over here wants kids. This chick over here, is a drinker, is a partier, some of the stuff that I'm not interested in anyway. So I was like, wow. So, okay, cool, great. None of these chicks in here like me, so I don't got to worry about none of the ones that I like. Nobody fucking likes me. So, shoot, I'm about to go do what I want, And it's not going to matter. I don't got to impress any chicks. I don't got to worry about what I look like to any chicks or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. To potentially have a future relationship, from high school, knowing somebody that I grew up with in same school and having a relationship with them and having a great relationship with them as I got older, became an adult after 21. So I didn't have to worry about that no more. Yeah. So at that point, I was just free. Then none of them like me. None of the ones that I thought was cute like me. So I'm good to go. Like, it doesn't matter what I do, what I wear or nothing. They don't like me. So they don't date outside their race. Don't date black guys. Only gangsters. Only rappers. Only older men who are like 30 years old, which I am now. But back then, 16-year-old chick, only one guy to 30, 17, only one guy to 30. Shoot, I was free. So it was easy after that. That's why I'm just saying, like, after you ask them all out, all the ones that you think might like you or you like, and none of them do, and they all make those excuses and lies and all that crap, you're free to go. Just do what you want.
Yeah, I think from my perspective in high school, it was, so I was new to the school, basically new girl, my freshman year, and I had this gym class. There was this guy, I think he was like mixed or something, and he wasn't like light skinned. He was it's different complexion, like or whatever, but he looked he looked white, but it's not like he had. Like if they get mad and red or something. So it's like that, But he was mixed though. But anyway, this guy in my gym class, he seemed like a nice guy. He was a pretty popular dude. I didn't know, I was kind of new. I didn't really know any people. I ended up so I was going to one district, and then I ended up going to I guess what they call that, competing district or something. I don't know the term for it. Rival district. So I went to rival high school, not because I wanted to, but your parents choose what school you go to. So I went to the rival district. I really didn't want to go there. I wanted to stay in the school district I was in with friends and everything. But go to school. This guy in gym class, mixed dude. She seemed cool, and I liked him, but I didn't really say I liked him or anything like that. I kind of was like, I was more about schoolwork, books, everything else. So that's kind of what I was focused on. So it was at one point, like the next year, I ended up, running into him. I liked him and stuff, seeing him in the hallway, and I asked him, I said, hey, can we hang out and stuff like that, get to know each other. That's what I asked him. And he said, yeah, I get no. I had to get up my courage to even say, even do that. So, because I was really just first year, I was just like kind of watching him. I wasn't like walking past him or whatever, but it was like kind of watching him from afar kind of thing that chicks do, I guess. After I asked him, hang out and stuff, then I had this white girl, she was my friend, and she was cool. I feel like this girl's around black chicks or something or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I was hanging out with her during lunch, like most people do. And I was talking to her about it. And I was like, yeah, I like this dude, and I'm, trying to hang out with him, whatever, And she was like, cool, she's like, well, do you guys phone number? I said, no. I didn't even think about that, You don't think about getting my phone number, So I was like, okay, I guess I have to get his phone number, And my friend, boy, she was over here like, well, let's just go over to him and, get his phone number stuff, right? So there's this like lunchroom, there's this like wooden like I think like bench or whatever. So there's a wooden bench that goes around the whole lunchroom and shit. And then there's one in the middle where the poles are and shit, or whatever. So this dude's hanging out like the middle part and shit. To the left side, he's hanging out with his friends and stuff like that. He had this friend that was like this white dude or whatever. I noticed that, dude had a circle of friends and stuff, So, my friend's like, well, let's go up to him and get his phone number. So, okay, cool. So we go walk over there. I'm telling you, when this dude saw us approaching, this dude ran clear across the damn lunchroom and shit down the hallway. And I was like, where's he going? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's scared. Like, the fuck? And his friend is sitting there. And then his friend's sitting there, and he gives my friend his phone number, supposedly. Supposedly. So I did it pretty weird, but anyway. So she gets the phone number from his friend and stuff. And we walk away, she calls the phone number, it's a fake number. And I'm like, well, why would he give me a fake number for? You know what I'm saying? If we supposed to hang out, why is he being scared? And that's kind of was my like first experience. And I was like, well, if guys are this damn scared, why the hell, then why are they dating chicks if they're so damn scared? Like, that's what I was kind of confused about and shit like that. So once I found out he didn't really like me like that, then I was just like, okay, well, don't have to worry about him, Then I tried this. There's this dude in my class, black dude. He said he looks like Tupac. But anyway, I don't get it. I don't see it, but the look. But so I was in this class. It was like a Latin class, not like Latin like culture, but like Rome and Greece and stuff like that. So they have like a called dead language, Latin. So my mom thought it was a great idea if I was in class. So started off in freshman year in the class, all the way to senior year. So I just sat in I think it was like senior year, was it junior year? Probably junior year. Junior year, I said to the guy, hey, it's a black dude. He was the only other black dude, in the class anyway. It's just me and him. You know what I'm saying? And there's like probably one Asian dude and the rest of them was white people, in the class. So I was like, well, hey, I'm the only girl in here, black like he is. Hey, maybe I can just ask him out. It seems kind of cool because when I have conversations with him, it's cool. Nothing out of the ordinary. So I asked him one day on my lunch, like I do most of the time when you have time in high school. I said, hey, and he had a car too. think he had a Toyota Celica, actually. But anyway.
Car.
But anyway, I asked him, I was outside, you know, I had been hanging out with my friends at lunch or whatever. And I saw he was going, you know, get his car or whatever. I was like, hey, and I stopped and I said, hey, you know, hey, I want to talk to you about something, you know, real quick. I was like, hey, can we, you know, hang out, you know, maybe on the weekend or something? And then he was like, sure, that's fine. So then I was like, cool. So I'm gonna tell you something. I would say like week after I asked this dude, I was hanging out with my friends outside. It's nice weather, everything. And this dude, here he comes walking from the parking lot or something. And he has this black girl with him, you know. And I was like, you know, who's she? I thought he didn't have a girlfriend or anything. You know what I'm saying? I never seen with a chick. So I was like, okay, you know. And then what I found out is that this chick was a new girl from some place that she came from some school. Not the same dude, but different dude, or whatever. So I guess he got a girlfriend or whatever. I end up going to like doing what some people call study hall or academic lab or something. Everybody got a different time for it, where you go to your homeroom and shit and study, that kind of time and stuff. So I go, and I happen to be going to my math teacher's class or whatever. And I end up going to her homeroom, you know, study hall. And I noticed that he's in her class or something. And I was like, or I don't know if it was her class, I think it was class over that I have to go to. So it just so happened that you know, the first dude that I was talking about before it ran away, he was happened in the same place as this other dude was. Strange, I don't know. But I go to the class, just started looking, I walked by some, and I was like, walked in for some reason, and I noticed that the girl was in his homeroom and shit. And I found out that she was new or whatever, and I was just like, okay, so you got a girlfriend? Why didn't you tell me you got a girlfriend? If he said that, then I was like, okay, cool, you know. So, you know, I think I seen them, him and his friends hanging out, looked at him. Guess the guy got freaked out, was why he got the girlfriend, I don't even know. But, you know, I found that the guys in high school, those two dudes, you know, I guess they were scared or whatever. I find out, you know, it's weird because I don't know what he was doing to this chick, but like, it's like he was trying to make this chick into me or something, like a low self-esteem version or something, because I wore a dress. One point, she tried to wear a similar kind of dress. Okay. I had my hair done, fixed, whatever. Then this girl tries to do that, but the hairstyle that she had was done wrong because you could see the hair coming down. And my friends and I were laughing about it because her hair was messed up, you know, it was jacked up, you know, so I was like, it was messed up, you know. And I don't know what he was doing, but he was trying to make the girl into kind of me or something. It was weird, you know. And I was like, are guys really this weird? So that was my second experience, you know. And there's this other dude. I thought, oh, hey, maybe I try down the football team. So there's this one guy. I thought, oh, maybe he's cool, you know. But turns out, you know, I find out that football players have chicks or whatever. You know, I ain't trying to talk to him, but I just noticed that one football player is sitting there in lunchroom, a different day. He has this chick sitting on him. And then this white dude leaves. Black dude came. There's the same chick that was in the white dude's lap, and on the black dude's lap and shit. And I was like, let's how this stuff goes, you know. And I think at that point I was like, you know, okay, well, this isn't going anywhere for me. You know what I'm saying? Asking dudes in high school isn't really doing anything. I thought they like a chick that's worth coming, come up to them and say, hey, you know, can we hang out? Not, I'm interested in you.
That's how I ended up dating the chick. Hey, well, I also ended up getting gold digged that way too, where they pretended to like me in high school, and I couldn't dance with them, and it wasn't until I actually asked them out where they stopped gold digging. Because then I was like, hey, y'all, it's like, you want to be my girlfriend? And one said no. The other girls you hung out with all the time that I had to pay for during sport events and the concession stands. I asked her too. So hey, you want to date? She said no. I was like, well, y'all both got boyfriends? They said yes. That's when I said, oh, okay, cool. So
Did the girl
let's
ask
go,
you
let's
for
go
some
ahead and go.
stuff?
It's like, what about my stuff? What about my chips? What about my? I was like, y'all both just told me y'all got boyfriends. He's got to pay for that stuff. That's what he's there for. He's got to pay for that stuff now.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when they stopped hanging out with me and stuff like that. And
Because you're paying for stuff.
yeah, that's all it was about. So they can pretend. So if you want to stop that, just say, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? Hey, what are you? You want to be my girlfriend? The moment they say they have a boyfriend, that gives you the right to say, okay, well, did he give you some money then? Go ahead, pay for it. You don't need to ask me. You got a boyfriend. And so we just hanging out. We cool. You know, stuff like that. Or when they say, oh, I barely know you. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You better pay for this. You barely know me. You know, stuff like that. That's what you would say to them. You say those two things. You'd be all right.
Yeah, I think from my experiences, I'd say if there's any girls or guys and, you know, you trying to hang out with somebody, get to know them, you know, if the person isn't, you know, if they do some stuff like two guys did when it came to me, if they do the same things, then what I say is that then you're carefree. You know, you're free. You don't have to be in a relationship with anybody or anything else like that. You just, you know, you try a couple of times, it doesn't work out, you just
focus on
school and leave. You know, that's what I did.
And become what you really want.
It's kind of crazy because we both kind of did the same thing in a way, like try and it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, I was so carefree to focus on college. That's what I did. I was like, okay, great, this doesn't work. I'll just wait till college and see what happens then and go from there. Because I think that for the people who are dating, I'm like, I think it doesn't make sense to be dating or having sex or doing any of that stuff because they're teenagers. You know, of course, we were teenagers at the time, but why would you be having sex if you don't know anything about birth control? That's the main thing. You know, like a lot of chicks, I've seen chicks every year seem like they got pregnant and stuff, and I'm just like, why are they having sex if, you know, they don't know about birth control? You know, and maybe some of them think, oh, I can't get pregnant. Some girls, I can't get pregnant because I'm a teenager, I'm not married, or whatever the hell they probably think. You know, maybe their parents told them that, or their church told them that, and they think, oh, I'm not gonna get pregnant. They get pregnant, and it kind of, I guess it kind of goes from there. I remember, I think there's this girl that this girl that rode the same bus I did. She seemed nice. She seemed like her eyes were kind of slanted. It seemed like she was like mixed, like black and Asian or something. And like the final year, I find out, I didn't even know, but I ended up finding out the girl was pregnant. And I was like, what? I'm like, damn, you got pregnant in high school. Your life hasn't even started yet. Like, you ain't even went to college, nothing. Like, there it goes. And the reason I say that too, I was watching this video on YouTube or something. Probably TV, I don't even know, YouTube or TV. I was watching this documentary. So this girl that was in high school, so it's white girl, white dude, they was in a relationship. Girl gets pregnant. The dude had dreams of going to be a football player in college and stuff. That's what he really wanted to do. And the girl gets pregnant. And after she gets pregnant, of course, the dude can't go to college. And they showed like how they was trying to prepare for being parents and stuff, but neither of them had a car or house or any of that stuff. You know, and I'm saying this because they ended up, you know, having a baby. You know, I'm sure the relationship didn't work out, but having sex with somebody and you're not on some form of birth control, and there's, I think for girls, there's how many, like 12 birth controls or 15 or something, I don't know.
I think there's 7.
There's, 7 forms of birth control out there for girls, and I think that girls should be on these things. If they're going to be having sex with guys, they should be on birth control, because getting pregnant in high school is not what you want to do. I don't care how many people on Facebook or likes and comments or whatever saying, oh, I got pregnant at 14 or 15 or whatever. Are you black? Because are you black? You know, or if you're white, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how it's going to work, because when I was watching this video on YouTube, this is a different situation, about this girl, she got pregnant by her boyfriend, and turns, you know, her boyfriend broke up with her after she had the baby and everything like that and stuff. And I was just like, the stuff doesn't work. Having sex in high school doesn't work for you, because you have a baby, but you don't have anything. You know, you don't have a house or a car or anything else. And if you think, oh, I can have a baby and have somebody watch them, okay, great. But you turn 18, you know what I'm saying? You don't get a chance to go off to college or do stuff that other people are doing. And I know a lot of teenagers, they probably don't know. They probably just think, oh, I can have sex and everything else, nothing's gonna happen. But the unfortunate thing is you can't stop the pregnancy because you're not, 16. You can't get an abortion. For girls, they can't get abortions. They have to have. I read this too when I was at Planned Parenthood. If a girl's gonna get an abortion and she's under 18, she has to have her parents' approval to do that. So she has to have one parent there with her. You know what I'm saying? In order to do it. We saw that once before. But how many parents are going to be really excited about their teenage daughter having a baby? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I hear that what the parents do is they make the girl go through with having a baby and suffer with having the baby, even though they didn't tell her about birth control. And they think it's the Christian thing to do when it's not, you know. But then people are going to say, oh, well, they shouldn't talk about, birth controls because it's going to make them interested in sex. They can find sex on the internet anywhere. Like, it's typing a porn site. You know what I'm saying? It's like that.
It's literally as easy as their mom watching a soap opera and they're seeing them doing it. It's that easy. It's as easy as them being, they can't be home alone, so they got to go to this movie too and watch 50 Shades of Grey too, and they got to go see what their mom is seeing too. It's just that simple.
Oh yeah.
It's not as hard as they think. It's easy to see based off of the fact that their mom likes soap operas and romances.
It is on TV. I remember one episode. Yeah, that's true because they honor grandma could like soap operas. Yeah, it happens in soap operas. I remember when I was a kid, I was watching Days of Our Lives, and there was these two people that end up having sex, and that was really, I don't know, I couldn't believe what was happening, but yeah, it's on daytime TV. I mean, it happens, so that is one thing. I do think, I feel like as once a girl is like 12 or 13, as soon as her period starts, she needs to be having, even before that, like 11, age 11, birth control. Because I say that because it's before, most people think a period starts at 13, but for some girls it starts earlier. Some girls can be younger and it happens to them. And so that's why I feel like schools should kind of mandate, or law should mandate, that they're on birth control when turn 11 or something. People might say it's too early. But when they get to be, even I would say the start of middle school, girls should be on birth control. That's literally when it starts, birth control. And I'm not talking about, something small. I'm talking about, like, for me, I have a birth control that's in my home right now that I have. Nexplanon I've been on for a year or two. I think a year or two.
2 years.
2 years. No pregnancies. They can have, the girls require them to have the same thing in their arm. They won't get pregnant, no teen pregnancies, that drops. And then, when they get to be, they may have to have a couple of the sessions, but I really feel like that the girls should be on birth control. I really feel like that because they won't have any babies and they won't have any situations where their babies having babies. You know what I'm saying? And I remember you were saying that there was comments on Facebook where people were talking about they were 14 getting pregnant or 13 getting pregnant and stuff like that. And a bunch of girls are applauding that. What did you think about that? I don't think it's disgusting, personally. I think it is.
Well, they're all encouraging each other about it. They're all very proud of that fact that they had a baby at age of 14 and had another one at the age of 15, and that they had 4 kids by the time they was 18. They was on Facebook just happy about that stuff and proud about that stuff. I didn't really see that many adult comments, mature comments about you should have did this, you should have did that, you should treat your daughter not to be like this, what happened? Because the first thing I think of when I hear 14 and pregnant is, excuse me, was that by another young kid? Or is that by somebody that the mom brought in the house? Or is that by somebody that committed pedophilia in the church? That's my first thing.
Yeah.
Because you're 14 and you got pregnant at 14, and most of y'all not thinking about sex at that time. Who the hell was grown up,
Yeah.
introduced you to that, and got you pregnant? And then why did your parent make you go through with it, through a pregnancy from a grown ass man, which was from pedophilia? So I don't like hearing that shit.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I think when I was a teenager, you know, Disney Channel, That's So Raven, you have like, you know, Hannah Montana, you know, you have these different things that are on. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking about sex. You know, they're not getting that from anywhere. I mean, I think that a teenage girl can get the idea, or a teenage boy can get it from school. You know, they can, but even when I was in middle school, nobody was doing that in middle school. So nobody's talking about sex or anything. It's more on school. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, you have the issue of moms saying stuff like, you can't do that till you're grown. You're not going to do that till you can't do what you or have a say so in this house until you're a grown woman or until you're grown. Well, the problem with that is that other women are saying stuff to girls who are young and they're teenagers, that they're grown women. Oh, you're a grown woman now. They hear this when a person has a baby. When a woman has a baby or a child has a baby, they hear that all the time. Well, you're a grown woman now. You had a baby. You're not grown until you have a baby. So the child thinks, oh, so mom, first of all, let me add this up. Mom says I won't have a say so in this house until I'm grown. But mom also says to several different other girls, because they had a baby, now they're a grown woman now. So let me just add those two things up. So that equals that if I become pregnant and I have a baby, I'll have a say so in this house because I'll be a grown woman now, according to how my mom's logic goes. And that's another reason they will do it.
Yeah. But the sucky thing about that is that even if the girl, I think I've heard of stuff where girls get pregnant, even though her mom says that and agrees with that. I've heard of situations where the girls get pregnant and they get kicked out of the house. And they can't come back in the house and they tell them to get out. And then they don't have say so in the house anymore because, you know, they got to find a way to support themselves. And that sucks that happens because
too much advertisement about man need to take responsibility for their kids and pay the child support, not actually take responsibility for their kids as in be there as a father, but pay money. Okay, then there's that. Then you know all this advertisement for that. Yeah. Man ain't shit. He's a deadbeat dad. Yeah, all that is just like deadbeat dad, deadbeat dad, deadbeat dad. But all they're getting is that okay. So the most attractive men that obviously we have babies with is deadbeat guys. Deadbeats and losers to have sex with because look who they're having babies by. Yeah. So that must be the correct choice. And it sounds retarded, but that's what keeps being advertised.
They keep making the same kids.
That's what they keep hearing.
Yeah.
And then the problem is that like it's all this complaint about no abortions too though.
Yeah,
that's not all of this is wrong. All of it. Part B 18 days, all is wrong. With the reason they keep having the fucking babies is because what's not being advertised is the pros and cons of the different birth control methods to use. If they for real didn't want babies and they for real didn't want you getting an abortion, they would be helping you prevent it in the first place. These preventative measures are not advertised as much as getting money from a man by having a baby, as much as pressuring a man to marry you by using a baby as a leverage, as much as getting a man to stay in a relationship by having a baby, as much as that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All that stuff that sounds all good for a chick, but damn, that's not.
It's not good for the chick.
That's not one. It's not even good for the baby because then you have to worry about the fact that your baby's not a baby. It's really not what you think it is. It's really you and me. And when it gets to be an adult, start asking questions. This mom literally, listen, y'all. She showed me this video where this mom literally thought she was going to get away with having a baby and having this woman, this little baby, and she's a girl. And she grew up and she thought that she was never going to get away. She thought she was going to get away the whole time with this woman, her daughter never finding out the fact that her real dad, her dad wasn't even her real dad. This lady did an ancestry DNA test and found out that her dad wasn't even her dad.
Okay, yeah.
Like, this was a grown woman now. And her mom literally held that. No guilt. No guilt. When her daughter went her whole life.
Yeah.
Believing some crap that she thought was real, that wasn't. And you know why that's a problem? Because as much as chicks say men need to take responsibility for their kids, chicks don't even take responsibility for their kids. These one night stands just to get pregnant, have a baby anyway. Guys know what you do. You're just trying to get laid. You don't really care. Fake name, fake address, fake ID, just in case he asks you for it, because you know that's not innocent, and you know she's gonna look at your ID to get your address, to know where to sign up and say where you was at, where you live, and get your child support and all that. So you know that's not innocent when she's asking for that. So you know you got a fake ID with a fake address, all that. And so she goes, has that true? Oh, you are responsible. You do the responsible thing though, and you go put the contents of the condom in the trash. But that night, she just so happened to take a turkey baster and take your sperm and put it inside her vagina that night. She comes up pregnant, but you're gone. Fake name, fake all that. She don't really know you, but she has the baby anyway. Boom. This is where she didn't take responsibility for herself, for the kid, for her own self. She can't blame it on the man. This is the reason why. One, because the baby deserves to know all the hereditary diseases that comes from the other parent, all their allergies, all the different ailments that runs in the family.
Yep.
That child could easily die from peanut butter allergy, whatever allergy, having the wrong pill, anything. And she only knows one side of the family elements of, and that's her own. She has no idea what this baby's going to go through, where this child's going to go through, mental condition, what they're prone to in the world, anything from this other guy. And she had the baby anyway. So I don't want to hear it about men taking responsibility for their kids when women aren't doing it themselves.
Well, what happens when the girl has the baby? What happens after she has the baby with the guy she doesn't know? Then what?
Then she knows the life on purpose, y'all. On purpose. She knows the life that she's giving that baby up front. A life without a father.
Well, you said that the guy has a fake ID, so what does she try to do? That's what I'm getting at. What is when she has a baby, what does she try to do?
She'll try to bag the guy. Well, get the DA to knock on his door, but address is fake. Name is fake. She tries to sign a name like that on a birth certificate, don't go through, because the guy that she's looking for doesn't exist. The address that the woman tried to remember and take a picture of on her phone and all that extra stuff doesn't exist.
It's a fake ID.
So she's lucked out. No child support's coming to her. It's all fake. And she just wanted to get pregnant and stuff. And there you go. That sucks for the kid too.
Mm-hmm.
Because now the kid's got to grow up messed up. And I mean messed up. To the point where I already heard that this lady was crying on the phone about how her kid was suicidal, writing about stuff because he doesn't have a dad. He doesn't want to live because he doesn't have a dad. Mom has to have visitations, not at the dad's house, but at a rehabilitation center for her kid's mental health because the kid didn't have a dad. So the lady thought it was a great idea to bring in those nice guys that hasn't made it yet, that liked her in high school or that liked her, brought those in. That, she said, that made the situation a lot worse because they wasn't the real dad, and that made the situation worse. Now she's crying on her phone, she's crying, and now she has to go and have visitation to her kid at a rehabilitation center because he's prone to injuring himself and writing letters, and he actually, she found him in a situation where he had a situation that she said could have finished the deal. That could be you.
Yeah.
And that's one kid. But he's not going to be a kid forever. He's going to end up growing up.
Yeah.
You're not having babies. Okay, you're having full-grown adults. You don't know it yet until they start coming at you with the stuff that you've been doing. I've been talking too long. Go ahead.
It's okay. You got a little turned up from. I think the same thing. What I was gonna do was I was gonna go to we got time here. So anyway, what I wanted to say is that having a one-night stand it's never a good idea. I think one of the things, and this you kind of maybe think of this, but if you're gonna date somebody, and this is kind of away from high school, but I guess it could apply the same thing. But if you're gonna date somebody, get things clear up front about the person. So I like to say, ask the person, what are they looking for? Because a lot of people, when you meet somebody, you get to know them, but you don't know their intentions of what they want to do. On the chick side, she may be meeting a guy because she wants to get married. The guy side, he may want a relationship, but it may not match up because just because the girl wants marriage doesn't mean that the marriage is going to survive and be a relationship the guy wants to be in. And I think that that's why when you go and meet somebody from offline, or maybe you're at a bookstore, a library, mall, whatever, and you meet the person, it's a good idea for you guys to sit down and ask the important questions. Like anyone would say, if the girl and the guy have sex, if you have sex, will you have the baby? That's one of the things to ask before you do it. Ask the question so if you're a guy and you don't want to have kids, you ask the question so okay, well, she wants to have kids. Okay, I need to find somebody else who's like myself and doesn't want to have kids. And I think that that's important in the world, to have people who don't want to have kids, because there's a lot of babies. When me and Ewan go out, we go to the store and stuff, we see babies. We see babies and stuff, toddlers, everything. Ewan makes the, statement that we always see babies, but we don't see teenagers or whatever. And we see babies. There's statistics out there that say, women are not having enough babies. But we see women pregnant, babies, everything. And, I'm not sure why they have that out there. But I think it's a good idea when you're meeting somebody, ask them questions, have the questions ready. You may say, oh, I met anybody yet. Well, yeah, but that's all the more time for you to think about what kind of future you want. Let's say you're somebody, you say, you want to be an actor in Hollywood, let's say. Or you're a guy, you want to be a rapper or a musician or pilot, whatever. Okay. Let's say those things are your career. Well, if you're trying to meet a girl and you have high aspirations for what you want to be, well, do you really want to, get in a relationship at the time when you're not where you want to be at? You know what I'm saying? There's like different things to think about when you're going to date somebody, because a lot of people say, oh, I'll just figure it out, but what about the major stuff? Kids are major. If one person wants to have a baby, the other doesn't, you might want to know that. What if the person that you're meeting, what if they don't want to be married? What if they went through a childhood where they saw their parents, and they were married and they got argued and fights and everything else, and now they have to, they don't have such a good relationship with either of them. What about those things? You can't just come at it with just what you think. I say come at it with, okay, this is my background, but this may not be this other person's background. You have to ask those hard questions, and some people are scared, saying, oh, I don't want to lose the person. Well, if you don't ask questions, you may lose the person anyway, if they don't agree. You have some girls that they expect for their say to matter the most. Some girls are, if the girl tells the guy to jump, he should, ask the woman how high, and for some guys, that's not something they want to do. Actually, for a lot of guys, I don't think they want to do that, But I say ask the hard questions up front, like about kids, marriage, careers, money being the biggest, because money is going to be that deciding factor for most people. But money's the factor, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, let's say you have a girl, she comes from a family where her mom stayed at home and then her dad went to work. Okay. Well, what if the guy she's talking to, what if he thinks that the girl should work, but the girl's comfortable with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to ask that, because sometimes where people come from, they think they can have, oh, this is home to me, this kind of thing my family did, so I'm okay with it. What if this person is a drinker? And what if for you that doesn't work? Let's say you have a parent who, what if your parent died from drinking, lung cancer or something, but this person drinks? That doesn't fit for you. You're like, you want somebody healthy. What if this person smokes and you're allergic to smoke? It's not going to work out. no matter how smoking hot the chick is, or for a girl how handsome a guy is and tall he is, that's not gonna work for you if you have an allergy. It's not gonna work. And what if you're a vegan and a guy eats meat? It may work, but if this girl's a vegan and she wants a guy to be a vegan, it's not gonna work either. It's important to ask the questions, and I think that there's what is that? So I read a book, it's called the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I found out that they have a thing for single people now, where if you're single, you can take the test and it helps you to better understand yourself so you know what kind of person you're looking for. You guys can always do that. Go to, it's like the 5 Love Languages and by Gary Chapman. You look it up. I mean, it's a mainstream book. A lot of people, are familiar with it. But I'd say, ask questions when you date somebody. Don't be in a hurry, jump in bed with a person, because you never know what you have in store, they have in store for you. You have some girls, they sleep with a guy, right? And, some guys, if they sleep with a girl, they think they married to the chick if they sleep with them. You never know. Some people got these ideas from church that they think, we're married if we sleep together. And that's a concern for a chick if, because what if the chick doesn't want to be married like that? And her idea is, having a wedding to get married. But a guy thinks, if I slept with you, according to the Bible, then, we're married.
It ain't like he wrong. Maybe she didn't read that part.
Yeah.
So if she's a Christian too, he's going to think that she agrees with it.
Yeah, and
so
it's true.
Ain't wrong.
A chick may not like that, think about it. Maybe a person has ideas that they want you to be, like for a chick, you have some guys like they want the chick to be at home or some girl may want to work. They didn't talk about it. I just say asking the questions up front helps you because you can weed through people, you know what I'm saying, and find somebody that's the best for you. I think a lot of people are scared to do that, but then their lives end up messed up because they don't ask those questions and they end up with a kid, divorced, and they regret it. It doesn't matter, and some people say, it's the sex. It's not always the sex because the person can be crazy. They can be like, and one girl told me they could be, nuts. I just say ask the questions because it'll help you in the long run, and know what you're looking for. Are you open to dating other races? Or you only want to date people like you? Figure that out. I know. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, here's some new stuff I would ask. First thing is, instead of doing what I did was I wasn't going to move in with a person. I knew that I couldn't handle moving in with a person that was messy because I'm too clean and I'm too organized. And I knew it would drive me insane. So I was automatic no for moving in with a person that was clean. Well, I was on the phone, before I moved in. I was on the phone and I was like, oh, is that a vacuum? Oh, yeah, I'm cleaning. I was like, what? Oh, yeah. I'm cleaning the room and I got the vacuum out and I'm mopping the floor and I'm like, oh, cool. This person sounds like a clean person. Yo, that ain't work because I thought I was hearing there was cleaning, but you see, I never asked how often do you clean or do you have a regimen for how often you clean? Well, that didn't work. Okay, moving with the person, complete messy, no organization, nothing. It was nothing like what I was imagining it to be like myself on the phone. So don't take that. So instead of doing what I did, do this instead. Okay. Hey, how often do you clean? How many times a week do you think your house should be clean? How many times would you think the front room, the bathroom, or your bedroom, or the kitchen should be clean? Where do you put your clothes? On the floor? Or you got a dresser for them? You got hampers for your dirty clothes? Stuff like that. That's what you should do. Okay? Ask that instead. Another one. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, another one.
You'll forget, so go ahead.
Another one is, I had discovered this too. Okay? Ask them. I didn't know that women was on like a time. I thought that they was like I was. Like, It's about how strong your relationship is before you move forward. It's not. For them, it's they don't care if you're arguing, they don't care if you're fighting. They have a time. There's a certain time they want to move in, a certain time they want to have another car, a certain time they want to have a house, a certain time they want to have a kid, a certain time they want to be married. And it doesn't matter what situation you're in, they want to meet that time. Okay? So you should ask them what their time is for different milestones in life, their time, how old they want to be, because that's different than you. Mm-hmm. You as a guy would be thinking, we still arguing. I ain't getting married yet. Nah. But she might not be thinking that crap, okay? She might not care about the strength of your relationship. It's about the time. So another important thing to ask. Are you thinking, let's say, you should ask her if she's thinking about changing the things that gravitated you towards her, that turn you on, that make her attractive to you, okay? Are you thinking about changing that? Let's say her hair is long, beautiful. You're like, oh, I finally got me a woman. Beautiful long hair, oh my God. And then after you get engaged, she decides, cut it off. And you're like, okay. And you thinking, oh, maybe she don't like to take care of it, something like that. But then she just doesn't grow back out anymore for years. And then anytime we talk about it, there's an argument or something like that, because maybe she wanted it short after she got engaged or something like that. You want to know that, okay, if that's your thing that makes you attracted to her, okay? So say something like, let's say you like her breast size, butt size, you like her thighs, whatever it is that is attracting you to her, ask if she's thinking about changing that after getting engaged and after marriage. Ask if she's thinking about changing that period throughout the relationship. If she changes the stuff that makes you really attracted to her, it's going to be a lot harder for you to be intimate and be up, you know what I'm saying, all the time for her, because your vision, you don't have, for you as a man, you need visual stimulation. You don't have the visual stimulation that made you attracted to her in the first place. Then you're going to have to start asking these stupid questions. Like, well, you wasn't acting that way before. Why are we not having sex as much as you was before? Mm-hmm. Why was you so much more intimate and intimate with me in the beginning? Mm-hmm. And it just seemed like the more stuff we got, the more we obtained, the less you gave me, you know, stuff like that. Ask that, because that's very important for you, you know, and definitely the whole, do you want to have kids? And if she asks you when you want to have kids and you say, oh, probably when I'm 30, you have to finish that sentence. You have to say, but that doesn't mean on my birthday when I turn 30. Okay.
I agree with that. I think women do have a time. Some have more planned out schedules than, you know, other girls do. You know, some girls are to the letter. They want to do, you know, this one are 16, this one are 18, move this place, that place, whatever. Some girls are more lenient. Okay, what, you know, whatever. You know, I think girls do have a time of when they want to do something. And I think I would say that if a guy finds that he asks the girl the question, what is it, you know, oh, do you have plans for the future, about kids, marriage, whatever? And she's more strict about, you know, what she wants to do. Well, then the guy knows, okay, maybe this isn't the person I want to be with, you know, that doesn't fit with me. But I would say guys have times about when they want to do certain things too. They have certain, like, let's say they want to go on a trip here, you know, like let's say they want to have a guy's trip with their buddies here, and they want to do, you know, guys have things they want to do. It may be a little bit more lenient than chicks. You know, the girls who are kind of OCD, they have to do everything at this particular time. I think that would be scary.
I'm gonna interject just for a quick second. She's completely right, because I wanted to have certain things on my own.
Yeah.
When I wanted a car on my own at a certain time. I'm talking before I met a girl, before I got a girlfriend. The girlfriend thing started hitting me so much harder before the other stuff. Like the other stuff wasn't coming fast enough. Like the car wasn't coming fast enough. The finances wasn't coming fast enough for me to get this house and actually have what I wanted to have on my own first before getting a girl. The girlfriend feeling, I guess it's puberty, I don't know. But like when I hit 19, something, and then I get 21, like something was just really hitting me with that needing that partner thing.
Yeah.
Like it was hitting me worse than the stuff I should have been doing in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plus when you're living with a bunch of women and you don't have a father figure in life to help you stay hold fast and give you the advice you need as a man, you don't have that. You know, so to calm you down or to give you the advice. But that's all I want to say. She's completely right, because
Yeah,
I'm still now, when I'm 31, I'm upset and pissed that I don't have a certain career making a certain amount of money right now at age 31 to be able to take care of bills a certain way. Even still right now, even though we're sharing a place together, have my own house, I'm missing that experience. I'm still missing it. But go ahead.
I think that I'd say both have times when they want to do stuff. You know, some girls, and I think it was some movie. I don't know what movie it was. It might have been 13 going on 30. I think it may have been that movie. So I think that's what it was.
Where the two girls got married as best friends, and they had a certain time they wanted to get married.
No, that's the other one. Oh. That's the one where the girls was competing, and both of them was engaged, and they was fighting. So what happened is that one of them planned a wedding at the place, and then the other girl was mad that she got the place and she didn't. And so yeah, they was really. I forgot that movie. Anne Hathaway was in the movie with the other chick. Blonde chick, and they was fighting and stuff like that, and trying to do everything and ruin the weddings and stuff like that. That was terrible. That's how crazy girls can get. I don't know what the name of the movie is. I never watched it, but they was trying to like compete the same day, everything, the same place, and it was terrible. But I think some girls probably are like that, where they want to get married at a certain place on a same day and stuff like that, and they compete with their best friend. I think that makes sense, you know.
That's some Bridezilla.
It makes sense, but it's kind of Bridezilla. Yeah, it is crazy. Maybe that's where they get that from. Is the movie and stuff. I think.
Is that what it's called?
I don't think it's called Bridezilla. I don't know. Maybe it might be something.
Oh.
But it could be. But I think if you have goals of things you want to do, it's cool. If you run into somebody that you're dating and they have it planned out, like, okay, I'm talking about real OCD. Like I'm talking about, let's say this guy meets this chick, okay? And this chick, there's some chicks out there like this. This guy meets this chick. This chick has her future planned out, okay? She has her wedding dress picked out. She picked it out when she was 18. She has her wedding dress picked out, the place they're gonna get married picked out, the catering service picked out, his suit picked out. You know, where they gonna live picked out, the kind of house picked out, the kids' names picked out, you know, the kind of car he's gonna drive, the kind of car she's gonna drive, where he's gonna work, where she's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like where they gonna get their food from, you know, what kind of clothes the baby's gonna wear, what kind of hairstyles the baby's gonna have, you know, what color the mailbox gonna be. Style mailbox, how many rooms the house is gonna have. You know,
I can't even say you're joking because
there's girls that are like
in high school. I literally heard chicks saying that in the cafeteria before.
Well, I said it's gonna get pregnant. I'm gonna get pregnant by this dude and stuff like that.
No, what you were saying, they said that.
Are you serious?
And they was telling me, even, and I always thought they was nuts.
Yeah, I think there's girls that pick the stuff out. I think that's a little bit too far. You know, oh, I'm 13, so I better start planning for my, adulthood.
What were you trying to say about time? Because
what I was saying about time is that if somebody is really scheduled like that, you know, down to, you know, just OCD like that, where they're already, you know, she already has it picked out, like the kind of clothes the guy's gonna wear every single day and shit, kind of car he's gonna drive, and you know he's gonna be, you know, the thing about girls meeting guys that are tall is that's not an issue. Like I think the issue would be if, like, let's say you're okay, guys. So if you're a guy, let's say you go meet this chick. You meet this chick, you guys are having a good time, and at one point she asks you to stand up. Measuring your height, measuring your weight, you know, waist and everything like that. And you're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just taking some measurements. That's what she says. Measurements for what? Oh, the suit you're gonna wear when we're getting married. What? Like, you're like, but we just met. Oh, I know, but I just wanted, just in case. that's kind of poor. I think if a guy meets a chick, I think that's like that. He needs to run. Run, make up an excuse. And leave. I think somebody who's lenient is fine. I think that the thing is about time is that some stuff makes sense. Some girls, they have a certain time they want to get married. Yeah, they should consider the person and the relationship, type of thing. I think. I think for me personally, my family, a lot of people are married, and in my family, it's usually if you're gonna get married, you may want to just get married, because if not, you don't want to be waiting around for the rest of your life, like women, you don't want to wait the rest of your life for somebody to say they're going to marry you and they're not going to marry you and stuff like that. You die and they never marry you. They say they're going to do it and they don't. My family is more, if you're going to do something, do it. Of course, it does take time to build a relationship. It does take that time.
Budget and saving.
It takes the time, and it takes, make sure you have your passports if you're going to be going to another country, because it takes time to get passports. So you want to have that. You don't want to surprise a chick on a trip and you guys don't have a passport and you're waiting forever to get your passports and stuff because of COVID. You don't want to do that. So I just say time is good. For somebody to say, okay, I want to get married around this time. This is when I want to do that, which is cool if they want to. And that's what they think, okay, well, this is a time where I'll be young enough, I'll be healthy enough, people will be happy for me and I get married and stuff like that. Because some people will get married because they have loved ones in their family that are old, like maybe their grandparent or something, and they want their grandparents to see them get married or something. Or maybe their parent has an illness, and they want their parent they have cancer or something else, and they want their parent to see them get married. For some people, that's the thing, and they don't want to wait, forever. I think you should wait at least a while for knowing somebody before you decide to get married to them. Please don't talk about getting married to somebody if you've only known them a month. Some girls do that.
Or if you haven't lived with them to see if you can stand each other. Because what if you live with them first? See, if you live with them first, you'll be able to find out how often you're intimate, what they really like, their habits, hygiene, all that stuff. But most importantly, how often it is that you're almost splitting up. If you're always almost splitting up, marriage is not for y'all. Not for y'all. I mean, y'all can just be together. I don't care if it's past 10 years. You're almost splitting up all the time. Well, the only thing that's going to happen with that is you're right on the edge of divorce already. If you were to get married, you're already there. It don't make sense. If you get married and you're strict and it's different when you're married and all these promises and all this and that, if they don't come true and you're, well, get the fuck out, leave, get the fuck out of my life. If that's happening to y'all, you're going to have a divorce that fast.
Well,
it's just pointless to be married.
It really depends. I mean, some people will have it where they feel like, and I'm sure there can be somebody watching, they feel like, some people feel like, some people will maybe see commitment as marriage. Some people do, doesn't always have to be a commitment. Of course, please don't have a baby and say that's a commitment, because that.
I mean, it's like when I hear that, the first thing I think of is, so you're telling me you're going to keep effing other guys all the way until I'm married to you? So then you're finally going to be committed to me until then? You know how that chicks think like that? People think like that. They're going to be effing other people because they're not committed to you yet. And then they're finally all the way up until the day you get married. And then here's the thing. What's the plans of changing? Is there going to be like this magical halo of thing that you're ready to do because you're married with the title of husband or wife, and you're telling me you're going to be able to keep up with those promises for the rest of the relationship, the rest of the marriage, because that title of wife isn't going to stop until you get a divorce. So you mean I'll do it when I'm married? Well, that's the rest of the time you're together. Can you readily handle that? You better be telling the truth.
I think there should be some flexibility because people are going to change.
And that's what I mean. When people change, you got to be prepared for people changing. That's why it's important for a prenup for. So for like if they you can't have kids or you don't want to have kids in your relationship. If they decide to do that, that's against the prenup, and you're free to leave. No throwing shit. No having a bad breakup. You just know it's not for you anymore. You're no longer interested in the same things. Stuff doesn't align, and it's time to go. That way, when you break up, you don't have to worry about this person being a business partner that you didn't want, or when you break up, you don't have to worry about a free, especially if you're black. You don't got to worry about a judge telling you who gets the knives and who gets the forks, or who gets the hammer and who gets the nails. Okay? Because you can't trust judges.
What I mean with changing is that I think people are going to change in the relationship. Like, I don't mean like the relationship's going to change. I mean like the future is unpredictable for people. So somebody could, let's say, for example, and this is something I think could happen. Let's say you have a guy and a girl that are married. And let's say, I'm going to go on opposite, so I was going to do female, but let's say girl got married. And let's say something happens, like, let's say they're, every 3 days, both of them are every 3 days or something, right? So let's say what happens is that, let's say the guy gets cancer, okay? And let's say the guy can't keep up with having sex every 3 days because he has to go to his chemotherapy or something like that, right? So to me, if they have a prenup, that's not, and some people may see it this way, grounds to leave or something like that. That's not grounds to do that because the person has cancer and, there's, like with marriage, people think, okay, they're supposed to be keeping the same thing up. But what if the person gets cancer? And the person gets cancer, they get an illness, they can't keep up the same thing going. That's kind of what I mean by changing.
Those are called extenuating circumstances,
yeah.
Which, based off of how that person feels, they can't keep up with what they need. And if they do decide to leave, it is understood. But if they decide to stay and say, hey, I can give you this long for you to heal and make it through this and get back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do it by that time, I'm sorry. All that's reasonable.
Well, I don't think that's entirely reasonable if you're married to somebody, because when people get married, sickness, health, they have that out there.
Sure.
If it's in a prenup where they say, okay, if you get sick, okay, I'm not doing shit. Why would you be marrying a fucking person if they can't be there to support you? You know what I mean? Like,
they've written that. You saw them yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody
says, and you look at images, there's people
if somebody says that,
yeah.
I mean, if they say if you get sick, I'm leaving. Okay, cool. Right, they can leave, but then you might as well not get married to them. Right.
But if that's in the prenup, then and they don't even give you time. That's why I gave that option. Like, you have a certain amount of time that I can stand this.
Yeah.
If you're not better by this time, then I'm leaving. It's that. At least they're giving you time.
Well, if they give them time, that's good. But I think if they're sick, they're not gonna get well in that time. Nobody fucking knows. Like, they don't know. Because stuff can happen, turn for the worse. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. I mean, I think if somebody writes that in prenup and they're that damn heartless where they're saying, oh, well, you have 3 months to get better, but you have it's a lifelong illness, why the fuck are you getting married to them? You know what I mean?
You can work around, but there's no reason to get married to them.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you're probably better off with a chick who don't like sex. At that point, for that moment, for your time being that your health allows.
Yeah.
I mean, or you can be with the chick that knows how to accommodate you around your injuries or stuff like that,
Yeah.
or that is even interested in learning about how to do that with the chick you're with. Because I mean, if stuff don't work no more, stuff don't work no more. There's nothing you can do.
Well, yeah, and I'm saying, and I feel like the same thing would go for a guy. Like, and this is something that I think is really scary for a chick. Like, let's say you have a guy who is a very physical person, and let's say you have a guy who likes boobs. Let's say he's really big on that. Okay, well, let's say they have a prenup, they have to have sex this many times, and let's say it's on a chick's end. Let's say you have a chick. Let's say she has something like, which I think is very scary. Let's say you have a chick and she has breast cancer. You know, the guy says, "Oh, your boobs have to be like this, da da da." She ends up, you know, and I've heard about this with breast stuff where like the girls get these implants and stuff, all kinds of stuff happen to them. I think I watched this video about this lady, or we did, and it was like really scary. And she had all these ailments and stuff because she got like the breast implants and stuff. And my question is, it's like, if you have a girl and she gets breast cancer, and then it's in the prenup or whatever, oh well, she has to do this, that, whatever. And I think, and I kind of still stand with the same thing. Like, if a person's going to be, if they're going to be really nitpicky about something, and a person gets an illness or something, and it's something it is unexpected. Like, it will be something unexpected. But I think this is so important why people should ask questions. Because if you ask a question and say, well, hey, if I end up in this situation, you don't know what kind of situation you can end up in. You know, you have some people.
And
yeah,
you've never been there before.
Yeah.
Unless you have, and you know it's something you can't do.
Yeah, because like, and you never know. I mean,
because that happened to me. I'm big on movies. Okay, so if that happened to me,
yeah,
like
that would be
the first thing I'm gonna suggest is I need something to be there. The first thing I'm gonna suggest is the most successful breast implant possible first, and I will save my ass off to get them things. That's the first thing because I have to. That's for me. Okay. Yeah. Some people will be fine with that. They're okay with their girl having A cups and nothing as long as she has a booty. Okay, yeah. Then they got that.
Yeah.
So we're not all the same. All right, we're just not. You know, you can't say all women this. Can't say all women guys. All guys this.
That, yeah.
You can't say all anything. So
I just feel like I think there's some things like prenups. I can see if both people are healthy and stuff. I think it kind of gets kind of crazy when somebody gets an illness. Let's say this person didn't know there's this like really rare cancer in their family, you know, and they get it. And then like, I feel like in a prenup, I kind of, because I think that's when they say you have to rewrite it or something about like an amended prenup or something. I think if somebody can't support somebody when if they're sick and they get something like that, you know, if it's not in the conversation, like I really feel like, because nobody's going to know to ask that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to know.
Here's my thing. If they don't try other things, I'm saying other things. Like, if they don't try to get you a person to make you feel better, that they know and trust, and they love, that they can trust, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's an option. That's where the surrogate people start coming in. Okay? Somebody that they pick, somebody that they're okay with, and you're okay, you're getting your needs met, you're still with that person that you still love and care about.
That's a good option.
That you need, that's where surrogates start coming in.
That's pretty good. That's a good option with something. I just think that illnesses, you never know. Something can come up. You can be going through the jungle, you get bit by a snake. The snake has this kind of thing. I heard if you get bit by a snake, you got a certain amount of time if it's a poisonous snake.
You do. You got about 5 minutes.
Who's gonna get help in 5 minutes? Like, you better walk with an antidote.
Trust me, I've seen the videos. The dude came, the cop showed up.
Oh my god!
And by the time the cop arrived,
oh my god,
he was 100+ miles an hour. He said it was an older guy. He said that he was tearing that car up to hell to get him to the hospital fast enough to get an antidote. Oh my gosh,
that makes me think you should walk around with an antidote.
And I think it's a bit longer than 5 minutes because it's probably gonna take 5 minutes for them to reach you.
Yeah, like 10. It might be 10 minutes or something. 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
But nonetheless, there you go.
I kind of feel like.
But yeah, I hope that like that for me, it would take a surrogate.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't, because here's the thing: if you're going to use your illness, this is where I start saying no. This is where I start saying, okay, go ahead and leave. If they're starting to use their illness, or they start using something happens to them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they be like, okay, it's something they're never going to get over. If they don't find a workaround or don't care to find a workaround for you, they kind of fell out of love with you.
Yeah.
Or even with themselves.
Maybe they have.
Okay, so at that point, there is no excuse. They don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, they might be in such a depressive state that they don't even care anymore. What you do, what happens, you know what I'm saying? So at that point, sure, go ahead.
Here's something I would say in that situation. If somebody becomes where they don't care or they don't care about themselves, one thing I would do if somebody does that, and you've been around them, one thing I do if they suddenly like turn into somebody, turn into some different or something, like if they do that, what I would at least do if I was in a situation is I would at least try to get the person help or something, just to make sure they're okay, because you never know, it could be their medication or something that they're on, and it could make them, it could do stuff to them, and they may not even know that, they may not even know that there's this mental stuff that comes from medication.
Codeine. I was calling the depressive hotline because I was on codeine, and it made me feel like I was a drug addict, and I hated it. Really? And I had to call the depression hotline. I was on that phone crying. I was upset, and I'm like, I'm not a drug addict. I played sports. I don't like the way this codeine makes me feel. I hated it.
And
it makes I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When you're on codeine and you have an argument, it's 2 times as bad. The feelings that you feel 2 times as crap. Okay, it's worse. So she's absolutely correct.
I just feel like it's a good idea to do that, just because you don't. If the person is acting like they don't love you, and before that they were in love with you or something, and now they're taking the medication, I would at least try to get them to talk to some kind of psychiatrist or something like that, at least to make sure they're okay. If they refuse it, that's one thing. But at least get them to meet with somebody if they're changing into like somebody different.
And don't try to hang around. If they're pushing you away over and over, it's done.
Yeah. I would say this, if you do have to break it off with the person, I say this like with a big exclamation point, which is, if you're pushed away by the person and you have to adapt to your life on your own, take time to get to know yourself for at least a few years. Don't just get married to somebody just because you feel lonely within like the first month. You know what I'm saying? Or a year. Take time to get to know yourself, because I've seen that with somebody, and they, I know nobody likes to be alone, but still,
until they're ready to be. You never know. But you're right, though.
Well, I'm just saying, because you have sometimes people don't like to be lonely, so they jump into a relationship and get married real fast because they feel lonely and stuff. And I think that if you're married or something, even if you weren't married, you was in a relationship for a long time, I'd say take time to get to adapt to it, because like there's some people who will jump into something, girls or guys, who will do that because they think, oh, okay, well, this makes you feel more comfortable, but then you have to watch out for that person, because sometimes people they get in a relationship with, there could be an accident or something. Like, this is what I heard about. There's this black dude, he won the lottery, and then this white chick started coming around, and then like next thing you know, he was dead. And I'm just saying, hey, look, sometimes you don't know people like you think you know them. Sometimes they're cuckoo. You never know. And I think that it's important to do that, rather than thinking, oh, this girl's hot, if she's hot and crazy, she can murder people. You never know. Oh, what happened to your last boyfriends? Oh, well, the last one died. They say, if she says that, you know what I'm saying?
That's happened. This guy was talking about how his chick stopped putting out, and then he needed sex, so he went and got it somewhere else. And then he felt that his chick was crazy enough to probably kill him if he got caught, and he felt that he almost did get caught. So he broke up with her. Well, his friend came up to him and said, hey, can I go out with her? He said, sure, but be careful because she's crazy. He said, oh, she's probably only crazy with you. That's probably just a one-time thing. That's mostly what chicks say, but this time a guy said that. Well, he went with her. Same thing happened. The friend went with her. Same thing happened to him. Stop putting out. He cheated to get his needs met.
Mhm.
She caught him. She killed him. She ended up on the news. And the first guy that told him to be careful found out his friend was dead, and the killer was her. And he was like, that was really freaked him out because he had a feeling that she might do some stuff.
The girl went to jail. Though.
Yeah,
she went to jail.
Yeah.
I don't think she thought she was going to jail.
So that's what you're saying. That's real.
Yeah, I think it's important to kind of watch out for that, especially if somebody's like you first meet them and then they're already saying, "Oh, well, we're married or we've been," you know what I'm saying? They're making more out of it than you know what to do with. Then what I say is that's probably why it's a good idea to go on the date with your friend, like double date. Maybe that's a good idea to do that or something, because if something's off, then they can make an excuse you can leave or something. Say you went to the bathroom and you didn't.
Something I want you to be help you be more responsible. One, before you end up having sex, ask if she's on birth control, for one. Two, ask her if she gets pregnant on accident, would she have the baby or would she get an abortion? And three, you use a condom, and when you're done with the condom, fill it up like a water balloon and just dump all of the stuff down the sink, and then throw away the condom empty. Either that or use Tabasco sauce to burn the sperm and neutralize them. But you might end up in court, because if she's that chick that goes and uses a turkey baster and puts it inside herself along with the freaking Tabasco sauce, the hot sauce, her vagina is going to be on fire. And then you're going to have to go to court. But all the guys that has went to court, just say what they say. The guys that's won, they say, well, I heard that Tabasco sauce in the condom helps neutralize the sperm, it kills the sperm, and that's how I was taught to dispose of it. So that's what I did. You was totally responsible. Then what the judges will say, or what they have said to those guys, is that it's his bodily fluids and he's able to dispose of them the way he sees fit.
Yeah.
Well, what you did, it has nothing to do with him. He was responsible, and therefore there will be no cost to any damages. And then nothing happens, and you both go your separate ways.
Yeah, I think that's smart for a guy, at least, because you never know. Some chicks don't really care about the sperm. Some chicks do. Some chicks don't really care about the condoms, because sometimes guy doesn't use it, and some guys, they like the throat kind of thing. They like the deep throat kind of deal. So that's a way that's the way every chick swallows it. She can't throw it up and then
Or don't let her run off with it in her mouth anywhere. You have a cup and have her spit it out right in front of a cup, because you don't want her spinning it and putting it in there. You don't want none of that stuff.
Yeah. Or the girl you said the girl goes into the shower. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never a good idea. Yeah, I think if a guy's concerned about that, yeah, definitely do that, because you never know, she might give it to her sister.
Oh, and don't believe I've got a positive pregnancy test, so therefore I'm really pregnant. Don't believe that, because if you believe that and then you have sex with her without a condom anyway, then she really will be pregnant and it really will be your baby. That freaking positive test is more than likely from something that she had in the last relationship and had an abortion, or the baby aborted itself and it was positive. She just kept it to trick guys later on, or that's her friends. Check and see if on her Facebook if any of her friends recently got pregnant. Okay, recently had positive pregnancy test. Or check on eBay. They sell them pregnancy tests, positive pregnancy tests. So she got one from there. When some people might have that for school, but she's using it for a completely different reason, to trick you into impregnating her. Don't fall for that. Go to the hospital, make absolutely sure that she really is, and then make your decisions and ask what you want to do and all that other stuff.
And you can tell if she is pregnant by if she's resistant to going to the hospital. Oh no, I don't want to go to the hospital. I already got the you can tell. Because if she's fighting going to the hospital, then she's not pregnant. And she's arguing about it, she's not pregnant. I say that's really a good thing for a guy to do, is go to the hospital. Go to a hospital that is not, go to a hospital where she doesn't know anybody.
And please take notice of all the days that she didn't have sex with you versus the days that she did. Because if you haven't had sex in a long time and she comes up pregnant,
that's what's scary.
Might as well have paid that $400 or what is it?
For what is it up? Paternity test?
Paternity test to find out if the baby's yours or not, and you only have a year and a half to do it, so do it immediately.
Yeah, and
as fast as you can.
And paternity tests are not just for TV. You can really use those. It's really real. You know, you might have to Google in your area to find it, but yeah, that is important to do to make sure it's not your kid.
And if you got a vasectomy, go get a notarized copy from your attorney that you will be taking her to court if she pursues you for child support when you're if you're shooting blanks. Okay, if you don't have any sperm.
Yeah.
And you're just shooting blanks. So you gotta get a notarized copy from your attorney for that, just to make sure.
Yeah.
And that way, if she starts crying in front of you, you know that she was cheating. You know.
Well, here's something I think that they could put in a prenup anyway. I mean, if somebody's dating and they want to get married and stuff and put in a prenup, I think something you could put in a prenup is that the first few years, while how long is the next one last? I think 4 years or something. So the first 4 years while you guys are married, she has to be on birth control. And she has to be on this specific birth control that's in her arm. She can't take out or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's good to, this is the prenup. She has to follow through with it, so she doesn't get pregnant. At least the good thing is, if that's in the prenup, she can't mysteriously get pregnant. And if somehow she does get pregnant, somehow, I mean, that's not that many chances to do that if you're on birth control and stuff unless she does with somebody else and she didn't get birth control. But what I think is that you can put that in the prenup, she has to be on birth control for the first, 5 years or something. You guys are together, but 8 years. I think that's okay.
The prenup puts everything in black and white.
Yeah.
Okay. It lets you know what you need in your marriage in order for it to succeed as long as possible. That's it. It's in black and white. You start saying, no, I'm not doing that, and then you have a divorce, you know the reason. Mm-hmm. You did not do the things that would make him or her satisfied in that marriage. I suggest doing marriage counseling or couples counseling. Do that stuff. Find out what's really going on. And then when you hear some outrageous shit that you just can't pull off, let's say you're black like me and you're a black man. And let's say that she wants you to be a man that makes all the money and she's only in the mood for as long as she never works and you can make that much money. Well, options for you as a black man is a lot slimmer. So what she might be looking for is the 10% of black guys that made it. She might be looking for that guy. Like how some chicks say, oh, well, we're out here, you just got to find the right girl. Well, for her, it's like, well, we're out here, you just got to find the right black guy. Okay? It's either that or she might be looking for a different race and she just doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Somebody that actually can give her what she's looking for. Same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say before I forgot, if you're going to be meeting somebody, I was kind of out of place. If you're going to be meeting somebody that you really don't know, let's say you don't have a car and they have a car, you guys, let's say you're going somewhere. If you don't know this person, I've been guilty as myself. There was this guy I was, talking to online and stuff, and he had a car. I thought it was a great idea for him to come pick me up, so we can go to a store or whatever. Don't do that if you don't know the person. Meet somebody somewhere. You never know how crazy somebody can be. So, don't get in a car with somebody you don't just have somebody take you there. Now, if let's say, for example, the person is from, you live in the North County, they're from the South County. Okay, let's say that's the case. And they broke public transportation to get all the way there, and they ran out of money and they can't get back home. And, or let's say they have people they live with, but let's say the people are at work or something, if anything, my advice would be, you're with somebody to take them home, you can drop them off, I tell that person, have your phone on, you never know how crazy somebody could be, but, it depends, sometimes people are honest, and they can't get back home or something, but the thing is that, use your conscience, if the person's honest, you think they're all right, cool, but don't get in the car with somebody you barely know, and, you never know, where they gonna take you to. You know, you never know what they got planned. Sometimes we want to have sex.
Happened to me.
Yeah.
I thought I was meeting this chick for a day. We went to Applebee's. I got the 2 for $20. Got in her car. She gave me this thing that made me super hard and everything.
Yeah.
And then she took me at the back of a church and started saying we're going to do stuff. And well, we did, but
it was cold.
It was too dang cold for me. I couldn't feel anything. I was cold. And she was all upset. And she was like doing this real hard. And I was hurting. I was like, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm suggesting that.
And then just because I didn't do anything for her, and I was still a virgin at that time, I didn't do anything for her. She started saying, well, I don't want to be around you because you're too clingy. I didn't even say anything afterwards. I didn't even do anything. But that's her method of getting rid of guys, I guess, is saying you're too clingy. Even if you don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah, I think that if you guys both have cars, cool. There's nothing wrong with taking public transportation and go on a date. Don't let anybody say you can't do that to get somewhere. You could be new in town. You know, it's okay to do that. And most important thing, I forgot. If you're going to be going on a date, there's always the debate between girls and guys. Who pays for the meal? A lot of girls feel like guys are supposed to pay for the meal if they're going on a date. It doesn't have to be that way. It just does not. Girls, you know, you guys can, you know, you can pay for your own stuff. You don't have to have the guy to do it. There's so many girls who believe that the guy should pay for a meal. Like I can go on YouTube right now.
Don't do that. If y'all thinking that, don't do that because the guy's taking that as okay, we're having sex that night.
Yeah.
Do not let him pay for the whole meal because you're putting yourself in his mindset that you're going to be giving it up that night because you're letting him do that.
Yeah, and you know, I think that it's a good idea to bring it up, you know, if you're, you know, gonna be eating or something. It's a good idea to bring it up. You know what I mean? Like ask the question, even if a chick can, let's say a girl can't pay for the food, right? Let's say she can't. She don't have the money, she didn't get paid or whatever, right? And the date kind of came up, you know, guy really want to go on a date. Well, my thing is ladies, do not assume. I know there's so many girls, moms, aunties, grandmas, friends. Oh, the guy needs to pay for the meal. He's not a gentleman if he's not paid for it. Pull the chair out and everything. Look, that's a lot. There's a lot of women. I can go on YouTube totally right now and they'll be over time like. But if you can't, ladies, if you can't pay for your food, guy may insist and want to insist when we went on our first date, you know, if you can't pay for it, you know, I say plan to pay for your stuff. If you have to help contribute to your family, let's say you stay with your family, they want you to pay the electric bill. It's like $100, $200 or something. You can't pay for the meal. I say discuss that up front and say, hey, you know, I'm not in the space to pay for this meal, whatever. We might have to reschedule, you know, date.
Do something for free. Like just do something for free.
Yeah, you guys can go to the park.
Go to the park.
You know, grab some fast food.
Do an activity. Like you're not going to expect nothing for some peanut butter and freaking jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, you guys can make food from home and stuff. Now, if the person doesn't have food at home, well, there's situations where people, they don't have food. So, but you can bring the food. You know what I'm saying? You can make something, you know, or go to McDonald's.
But when I just said that, that's for people who are not virgins. Virgins don't think like that. Virgins don't think, you know, oh, well, if I pay for everything, then we're going to be having sex. They don't think unless they got older brothers who are not virgins or they got dads who are leading them or stuff like that.
Well, yeah, ask the person if they're a virgin because they could be and they may not know. You know, and if you're thinking they're going to have sex and that's you repping that person, so don't do that.
And that's one of the things that happened to me a lot. When I was online before I met her, every third day they always asked me if I was a virgin. And I said yes, and they said, I don't teach. And then they wouldn't talk to me anymore. I had like 10 chicks do that to me. Like,
yeah.
Or they would say, are you 6 feet tall? No. Well, I can't do it. Are you light skinned? No. That's where I got the list from. I never knew that shit existed. Like until the whole dating thing when I was 21. Like, and then I started to find that. That's what they kept saying. Like, are you 6 feet tall, light skinned with tattoos? No. Oh, well, I can't do you then. Are you 6 feet tall? No. Oh, I can't do it. Are you light skinned? No. You look like that? No. Oh, you got tattoos? No, I can't do that. I
well, if you
I didn't know that was a thing.
I have a question. If you're tall, light skinned with tattoos, why would you be online anyway? You already have chicks coming up to you in droves. Like, why would they even say that?
I mean, that shit was so crazy that she showed me that there was a meme of this girl sticking her tongue out and like taking pictures and doing something crazy. When a caption said, "Me trying to keep a guy interested, or trying to get a guy interested in me who's 6 feet tall, light skinned with tattoos." It literally said that on a meme, and she showed it to me.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna be online and you're gonna be interested in dating people, I mean, I can understand if somebody really has their type down and that's what they want to do. But when I was in high school, college and stuff, I was very open minded. I wasn't over thinking, okay, the guy has to be this X tall. He has to be 6 feet tall, or 8 feet tall, 9, 10 feet tall. I wouldn't sit there and think about that shit. I was over like, okay, I want a guy who can work with me because that's the most important thing. A guy can be tall, light skin, tattoos. He can have all this stuff, money, whatever. But what if he can't work with you? If he can't, like, y'all can't work together on something. Y'all can't work together on it. What's the point of a relationship? You know what I'm saying? If you can't, if they can't understand you and your situation, if they can't understand, like, for example, you have some girls, they'll go date a guy. The guy has, grew up a certain way. He feels like, oh, well, women, they can't work. They can only be home with the kids or something. Imagine a chick trying to date a guy like that, and she's like, no, I want to have a job and I want to do this. What's wrong with you? But it's just because he grew up with that, and maybe he's comfortable. You know what I mean?
Now, here's the crazy thing. You may not think it. I mean, I see it all the time. Chicks will go to college. They'll go to college. They act like they're really going to be something.
Yeah.
They'll even get the job from college, but then they'll give it all up to be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, wow.
More situations work out for a guy like that than you think. But you got people like her sister who are to go get them women, career-driven women.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't do that with them because they have to stay active.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna go make some fish.
All right. Well, that's good for me for now. I was just gonna. Hey, how you just don't leave?
Oh, you can.
Okay, this is good for now.
Oh, okay. In stream. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.